Hey everyone, it's the Hey Poopy podcast, What That Booty Do from Poop to Pleasure to Health. Hosted by me, Dave.
And me, Ellen, two curious people removing the stigma from your stinker. And why are we doing this? Because we love laughing and learning about butts and helping them to be the best they can be.
Oh yeah.
And on today's show, we have Taylor Allen, who is the other part to Laura Allen, who we had on maybe like 6 months ago. But Taylor emailed us and was like, I got some great stories. I want to come on. And we were like, you are welcome, sir.
Yes. I mean, that family is like a podcasting juggernaut. They do. It's like the husband and wife both podcast. They're both great podcasters and really funny individuals who had amazing stories. But Taylor, oh my God. He had a story that, I mean, it's easily in the top 3 awful shit stories. So you have to listen to this. It's ridiculous.
Ooh, here's a clip for you all.
I was working on a sewage pipe in a building and I had to remove like a sleeve from the pipe that holds these 2 pipes together. I was kneeling down. The guy that was across from me was like, there's a lot of pressure in this pipe. We were in the basement of this building. So all the shit and pee and everything is coming down. I moved it just a tad and I saw a little trickle come out. But before I could even do anything, the pipe separated like a mouth opening.
Oh, no.
And all of it.
In your face.
Not only did it go in my face, but my first reaction was like, so I inhaled like as much as you can inhale, I guess, of just shit and piss. And so this is a senior center for the township. So this is all geriatric elderly people. We had a backup in the sewer and we found like a massive amount of condoms and the old people were fucking. I'm certain that I ingested old people cum.
Oh my God.
At the same time.
I mean, I feel like we all need to be cleansed from that. We all need like a shot. We all need shots after hearing that.
Yeah. It's amazing he didn't end up in the hospital. If you want to know more about our show, you could always head over to heypoopypodcast.com for everything you ever wanted to know.
All the info is over there.
Hey, can you leave us a review like this wonderful person, AsDef 2018? Great to learn about my butt, 5 stars. I knew Hey Poopy covered GI health and other funny mishaps, but I just learned that they cover the fun stuff that you can do back there, helping to remove the stigma and hopefully giving people the comfort to experiment. I especially enjoyed the Michael Vegas episode. He is an inspiration to the wannabe party hole. Ooh.
Back there.
Have fun with that party hole.
Yes, that was an awesome review. Thanks for sending that in. And if you want to be like that person, do your part. Send a review and we'll read it on the air. But we know what you're itching for. So, on to the shit show.
Let's hope not itching on your butt.
Oh, yeah. We don't want any itching on your ass. Not that.
If you are, get that checked out.
You're just hankering for a good episode about shit stories. So, and this is it. So, please do enjoy the shit show.
On to Taylor Allen.
Hey, Poopy, how you doing? Hey, Poopy, how you doing?
I'm just, trying to find a place with like-minded people to talk about like-minded things about me, about poop and stuff.
Hey, Poopy, how you doing? Hey, Poopy, how you doing?
Oh man, what's this right here? Is this a podcast about poop?
Oh, yes. It is a podcast about poop. And welcome back on Dump Day.
Yes, it is. And so much more. Hey, everybody. It's a Hey Poopy podcast with
Dave
and Ellen. This is episode 140, but it'll always be number 2 to us, our favorite number.
Yes.
And we have a wonderful guest today, Taylor Allen, who is the other half to Laura, who came on the podcast maybe like 6 months ago or so.
Yeah, it's a little while ago. And she's from the fabulous podcast, Hello Thoughts podcast.
Yes.
Which is fantastic. Check it out if you can.
My life.
We love having couples on, especially couples separately, because then we could like hear their stories, their side of the story.
For sure.
So much shit to talk.
Yeah. It's like those green room interviews, like when you're doing the dating game, like we get all the information pre-hand and we kind of bring it back and see like who's who.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, what's going on, guys? Thanks for having me on. I'm really excited for this. I feel like I have a lot of pent up shit to spill.
I feel like we all do.
Yes.
I'm very self conscious about pooping, so I'm interested to talk about it. I feel like maybe this could get me past that.
Right.
Oh, well, that's good. We're here to help.
We can help.
Thanks.
We can help unblock that.
Yes. We are the enema to your.
We are doctors.
Yes, sort of.
We can help you.
We're the suppository, the finger in your asshole.
Yeah. Metaphorically
So
speaking, of
let's
course.
dive right into it, Taylor.
Yeah.
How have you been doing recently in the bathroom? How have you been pooping?
So are we going off the chart?
Yes.
I'm
Bristol chart.
going with number 4.
Ooh,
yeah.
that's a good one.
Is it good? I mean, I feel like it's
that's
not
the gold
good.
standard.
No, that is yes.
But okay. So like this, I understand the smoothness and the flat, but I have kind of like, and this is the thing that it relates back to hemorrhoids and stress and anxiety, but like kind of pickle shaped poo sometimes.
What does pickle shaped mean? Like a little curve?
Like a gherkin?
Like a quarter of a like a quarter pickle, not like a half pickle cut, but like a quarter, like a dill.
So it
kosher
comes
dill.
out in a triangle?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah,
Whoa.
sometimes. Yeah, which I thought was just like a fun party trick at first, and then I found out maybe I have like some sort of disease, and then I went and got the whole camera, and it was hemorrhoids. So I had to eat more
sucks.
fiber.
Yes.
But it was good though. So yeah, I'm at a 4 now, which is it says is good.
I mean, we named our company Perfect 4 Entertainment.
Is that really what it is?
Yes, we're LLC.
Although I didn't even think of the wording of it, but the woman at my post office was like, "Oh, you got a package." She's like, "Perfect for entertainment." It's like a present that's perfectly for
entertainment.
Exactly, for entertaining. This is perfect for it. I couldn't stop laughing. She said that. I'm like,
no, it's a total play on words.
Oh, completely,
We are
but
perfect for entertainment.
I was just laughing so hard because the way she said it too, I was like, "What?" Yeah. So yeah, 4. That's good though, or 4 with a asterisk next to it. Maybe.
I didn't think it was good until I saw the thing, and then I was like, "Oh, I read." I'm like, "Okay, so I've been doing okay."
Yeah,
with the poop.
It sounds like you're doing pretty good.
Ellen, it seemed like you had like it was something startling happened.
Oh no, I just have a list. I have a. I don't. We should go to Dave.
I have to start. Ellen always has a giant check-in. I need to start like documenting my shits throughout the week. I just usually go by the day of.
Book.
No, I know, which I have written in. But I just I should like really take because I just have like pretty much boring shits. Like I took like a shit today, 2 shits, and they were all like 5, 6s. I made this awesome like stew, like healthy stew yesterday, and I think that was like causing some of that. But
there's no boring shit, Steve.
Well, they're all shits. I mean, it's all disgusting.
They're all unique.
I'm just glad I'm going. I'm glad I'm not backed up. I'm glad I'm not constipated. So that's cool. It's a miracle I don't have hemorrhoids. Actually, it's like I don't strain.
You don't have hemorrhoids because you shit so much and it just falls out.
True, but I just feel like at some point I would have had it. Like at some point in my life, you know what I mean? At some point, I've never had hemorrhoids. That's insane to me. But yeah, I had a number 5, 6, nothing like to even. I don't even remember what time I took this. That's how inconsequential. Well, I just have to remember to eat my papaya extract pills, which I eat every other day. So it's I had a really good shit today. I'm like, I didn't eat it. I had really crappy shit. I didn't eat my pills or take my pills. So I got to get back on that. But other than that, pretty like meat and potatoes, just shits. Nothing, no craziness.
Dave works from home, so it's like he's not even shitting any place creative. It's always the same.
Creative. Next time I'm just gonna leave the house and just go somewhere just to mix it up.
But there's something comforting about that. Like there's that's your home bowl. That's home base. That's
I mean, it's not the best when my wife's like, I need to get in there. I am not done yet.
You're not going to,
And then vice versa.
And even when I'm done, you're going to need to wait at least a few minutes.
We usually now our new thing is, I know I'm rambling on about this, but we now keep a candle just lit pretty much. We're burning through candles and it's great because nothing really smells. It's like, I feel like you're in a spa. So, it works.
Can I ask you guys a quick question about that? It just like popped in my head when you said that, but like, do you notice that things that supposedly make the bathroom smell better, or candles, like if you use them constantly, do you associate that smell with shit like later?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
I don't. I just think like, it smells nice in here.
like my parents always use like an orange spray, and like now like orange, like I'm just like, oh, you know what? If I smell that smell,
I'm gonna roll back on that. Sorry. If I smell the old school aerosol spray, what the fuck was that shit called?
Like
Lysol.
Like, yeah.
Okay, that, if I think of that, I think of my grandmother and just, it was awful smelling shit. So that, but we don't use that stuff. So I just associate, I'm like, oh, nice candle smell. I don't even smell shit. So it's, but yes, those kind of disinfecting, like, and it never wins. Like the great David Tell once said, ass always wins. Every time.
Yeah, I used to get those doggy poo-poo bags that were like lavender scented, and every time I pull out the lavender scent, I'd be like, like totally,
I love lavender.
Like I need unscented. Yeah. And it's like,
I love it.
Don't add a synthetic smell to the shit.
Yeah, it's like a very vague, I feel, I don't know. I think the what's the spray now? It like
Febreze?
goes over. It's like the pre. It's like the pre spray.
Oh, what do you call it?
Poopery.
Poopery. Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like that works a little bit better than some of them, but maybe it's like more natural.
Well, because it's like in the bowl versus just like wafting in the air with the shit particles. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
It goes right to the source. It attacks it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. God bless.
Yeah. We need more of that.
Yeah.
Okay, ready for my epic check-in?
Yeah.
So I went to Canada for 4 whole days, and I have a list of shit that happened. Okay. So right before I left on a very early morning flight, I pooed, and I was very, very excited because it's like sometimes you just don't get it out. Then I landed on Sunday, and all day the rest of the day, Sunday and Monday, I didn't shit at all. And I thought, I was like, it's going to be one of these trips. And I was busy working. So I was like, this is going to be awful. On Monday, though, my fabulous model, who she's like a godsend, brought me a huge fruit tray. And the fruit, I think, helped it get through. So it's something that I always say, if you have like travel constipation, grab some fruit, and within 24 hours, poop will come out.
She's like, I brought you this bowl of prunes for our shoot.
Yes.
Yes.
But I loved her. I was like, you're the same. And I was like, it was like a holiday in Canada. So like everything was closed. I was like, I just want a fucking apple. Like, you know? Yeah. So fruit. Bam, big poo. Then I stayed in 2 separate Airbnbs in 2 separate areas of Toronto. That's a long story. But the second one, I pulled out the chair the minute I got there when there was poop on the floor.
Ugh. What do you mean? Like, wait, back up.
What?
You pulled out, like, which, okay, hold on. You pulled out a chair in the, like,
yes,
and a dining table chair?
Yep.
And there was poop. It was on the chair? Or
no, it was on the floor underneath the chair.
Was it animal
to pull it out. It was tiny little turds, so I knew it wasn't human.
Okay.
And all I could think of was like, I just pulled the chair out from the table, and I was like, that looks like poop, right? My model was like, yeah, that's poop. And I took a picture and I sent it to the Airbnb hosts, and I was like, hey, just a heads up, maybe the last guest left this here, but there's poop on the floor. And they messaged me, oh my God, we're so embarrassed. We have a 10-week-old puppy.
And I was can't hold it.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, that I can totally, I have animals. It's fine.
Sure.
But I was like, the only way I will keep this a secret, who you are, I'm telling the world that this happened, but the only way I'm not going to report back to Airbnb is you have to bring said puppy over to let me cuddle with it. So they did.
So it was worth it.
So worth it.
Yeah, that's so worth it.
Nice.
Yeah. That was amazing. Then I also bought this cheese while I was there called Old Fort, but I kept calling it Old Fart cheese.
Mm-hmm. You have to.
Yeah.
That's actually a law in Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to. You
gotta, that. Pretty much. It's on the books.
I loved it. It was delicious cheese. And then I was in some terrible, terrible traffic on the highway where it was like dead stop for an hour. And I was driving with somebody else, and they were a local Canadian, and they were like, I'm going to look up on this like news app, like what's going on. A truck literally fell over on its side and blocked the entire express lane. Like a fucking constipated turd on the highway. And Two things. In the photo, there was a porta potty, and I was like, I don't think this is very far from us. I'm going to pee my pants. I might run over and use the porta potty that's next to his truck. But I was like, knowing my luck, like something's going to happen, so I'm just going to stay put. But there was like this moment also where I was like, I should just get out of the car and squat and pee because I don't want to pee my pants. And as that happened, this like hot cop pulled up and was like, okay, you everybody turn around and just drive the opposite way down the highway so we could get you out of here. And I was like, so glad I didn't pop a squat in front of any police officers because I would have gotten arrested in Toronto.
That's probably a ticket. I feel like they're probably be like, we've been there before.
Yeah. They're like, oh, this is a Tuesday morning.
Yeah,
eh?
exactly. Yeah. You get a ticket.
Being in the road.
Yeah, exactly. Don't pay it, whatever.
Yeah, it's fine. We're Canada.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, as soon as I took a car service back to my apartment about an hour ago, I put my luggage in the car and I forgot that I had this like chocolate with me that's called like crunchy clusters. And they literally look like really big raisinets. And I opened up the trunk and the crunchy cluster chocolate had poured all over the back of this poor guy's trunk. And I was like, I have to clean this up because it looks like somebody took a shit back here.
Oh my God.
It looked like animal turds just rolling around.
Just nuts and nature and chocolate.
Nice.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's my epic check-in. And I did poop today at the Airbnb twice before I left, and they were both fabulous. My poops were kind of more like loose seaweed though. I feel like I was making sure to eat a lot of greens and veggies, so I feel like they were like salad shootering out my asshole. So but yeah, made 2 massive shits before the plane ride. Can't get any better than that.
It's the best way to go. Yeah. You empty out before you get in the sky.
Yeah. Because you don't want to use the bathroom.
Possible.
You do not want to use
the bathroom at the airport.
Yeah.
I don't want to use the bathroom on the plane.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah, they're rough, all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, peeing is not so bad, but taking a shit in an airplane is just a nightmare.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or have you ever taken a shit in an airplane when it's like super turbulent? I've done that, and it's harrowing. It's just there's nothing.
It's alarming.
Yeah, it's very alarming, and you're just like, this smells. Oh my God, am I gonna die in this fucking toilet? While I'm in the air.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah, this is horrible.
Mile high dumps.
Jesus. Well, since we did some pretty awesome check-ins, I think that was awesome, and now I think our audience wants to know a little bit more about Taylor. So Taylor, please tell the people out there what you do, like who you are.
Oh gosh, guys, I do so much. I'm constantly, besides constantly holding in just like nervous diarrhea, like I think all the time. Like I think that's pretty much most of my life. But besides that, I do do a lot of podcasts, and I do music and things like that for years. And then my side job, which I'll definitely share this story with you guys in a little bit. But I work for a township. I do like maintenance, like on buildings and stuff. I do like electric and carpentry and plumbing and all that stuff. So it's a plumbing related incident that happened to me. I haven't been the same since.
Ooh, shit.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, it was really bad. Like medically, it was. I don't know if now is the time, but
go right into it.
I was gonna say, yes, go right into it.
Okay,
man.
yeah. Sorry, yeah, I'm like really building it up.
Yeah. Just teasing a little bit there, Taylor.
So I was, we'll get back to this later.
Yeah.
No, but I was. I don't want to bury the lead, but I was working on a sewage pipe not only was it like so I work on a lot of pipes and plumbing and stuff, but this was a sewage pipe, and it was maybe I should save this part for later, but it was a sewage pipe in a building in the town that I work for, and we were working on it, and I had to remove like a sleeve from the pipe, which is like this part that holds these 2 pipes together. And I was kneeling down, and the guy that was across from me, but my partner at the time, was like, just be really careful. It's there's a lot of pressure in this pipe. We were in the basement of this building, so all the shit and pee and everything is coming down. So I'm like, okay, it's all like in this pipe. So the collar, the sleeve was like right in front of my face, and I moved it just a tad, and I saw like a little trickle come out. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna back up. But before I could even do anything, the pipe separated like a mouth opening.
Oh no!
And all of it
in your face.
Not only did it go in my face, but my first, I don't know how this will translate on a podcast, but my first reaction was like to gasp. So I inhaled like a gout, like as much as you can inhale, I guess, of just shit and piss. And that later, so the cherries on top of this are that it was at the senior center. This is a senior center for the township. So this is all geriatric elderly people poo. And then we later found out we had a backup in the sewer like months later, and we found like a massive amount of condoms, and the old people were fucking. And so I'm certain that I ingested old people cum.
Oh my God.
All at the same time. So it all went down. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Well, yeah. How do you think I felt? It was.
Yeah. I mean, look,
it's rough.
We're just hearing it. I couldn't even imagine that would change anybody.
Yeah, it was really alarming. So I was covered in shit and piss and probably cum, and just like literally coughing it out of my mouth. And my partner. My partner was like laughing so hard, was not concerned at all. Like he was just thought it was like so fucking funny, and I immediately was like, "You're right. Like this is if it were you, I would be so happy."
Totally. He's probably trying to hold it in.
It was such a big explosion that he had gotten like a tiny bit. I think in his eye or near his eye or something. So
my God.
We both had to go get like tetanus shots, and it was like a whole situation. Yeah, it was crazy.
You're like, job over.
Yeah, I was so miserable. But like I went to the doctor and got the shot, and I like took a shower and I changed my clothes and stuff, and I went back to work. And I finished the damn day.
Wow, you're a trooper.
Yeah.
I would have been like, I'm going home.
I couldn't go home because I was like, I'm just going to go home and sit and stare at the wall and think about what just happened to me.
I mean, how long was that shower? It must have been like a couple hours.
It was like an Ace Ventura shower. Yeah, it was rough. It was like a girl in the corner. But yeah, it was brutal. The smell. It was raw. I had to shave my beard. Like it was just bad. It was so bad. It was horrible.
So you got a tetanus shot, but when you talked to the doctor, did they say anything else? Like,
he was like,
you should be tested for STIs. Or
yeah. He was like, come back like next week and keep an eye on yourself, like, and just make sure that like nothing happens to you. But
because you could have gotten violently ill.
Right. Like it was just all different bacteria, and I was like so freaked out. I was so grossed out by it, but I was like, at the time I was so freaked out, more so than like grossed out, because I was just like, am I gonna die?
Yeah.
Like, what is in my body right now? It was so crazy.
Once shit gets near anyone's face or mouth, I mean, I'm like, I'm out. It's just like that's I mean, I gotta give it to you. That's hard to go. There's no way I would have gone back. I mean, I would have driven around for like hours and just like.
It was rough.
More questions. So
please.
Were you working for a company, or were you like a freelance plumber? Or
so this is for like, so I work for a township. Like I just work for the township.
So it's part of like the government.
Yeah, sort of. It's like
I mean, would they give you workman's comp for this? Like,
I never got sick. I went to the doctor through the town, which is like probably also the reason why they didn't like super thoroughly check all my shit, because they were like, it was like the township doctor. So he was like, you're good.
Happens all the time.
But like, they're like, this is you ate shit at the, was it at the senior center?
Exactly.
Those seniors have been fucking, you know that, right?
Exactly.
Like, it wasn't, but it was bad.
So you're the third guy that came in this week.
It was brutal, but I deal we deal with that kind of stuff a lot. But that was the most like in your face, literally.
That's just
bad with it.
There's so many things. That would be an awesome cartoon, or just shorts, because just the fact you move it a little bit, you're like, huh, and then you see a little leak, and then like just because you've been in those situations before you could even think, it's like just like a bomb went off.
It honestly is like the I'm sorry, I just noticed like how dark it's got. I'm outside and
that's okay.
This is like your first reaction, like your physical reaction is like, or mine was just to like gasp, because it was just so like shocking. Yeah. And like, that's the worst reaction you can have in that situation.
Yeah. But that's my next follow-up question is, do you now wear hazmat suits to jobs like that?
We haven't been in a situation, but but the one time that we had to go like into like a sewer, we did wear a hazmat suit. So maybe that's why we did. But yeah, we should have.
And I'm assuming this was pro-COVID.
This was like 4 or 5 years ago. But it was
pre. I was like pro-COVID.
Could you imagine
pro-COVID
that happened? Pro-COVID.
You were full of COVID.
These seniors are sick fucks. They all want.
If that shit happened now, I would. Oh my god, I would lose my shit.
I'd just kill myself.
I would be telling the town, like, I'm sorry, for jobs like this, you have to pay for hazmat suits for us.
Yeah,
you know?
they do. I think it was like a situation where we were like taking it upon ourselves to be like, oh, we could probably fix this real quick with this. We didn't expect that to happen, which is stupid. I probably wouldn't have gotten like if I were like to be like, oh, I'm gonna sue the township for. They'd be like, well, you're a fucking idiot. You didn't wear like a mask to open up a pipe full of shit. And I was like, oh yeah, that's,
you're like, okay, you got me there, but
yeah, but the cum I didn't know about. So that's totally different. You guys.
Yeah, condoms.
You guys.
But also, I'm sorry, but seniors are like getting a lot of STIs too. So I'm glad they're wearing condoms. They just need to be taught to like throw them in the garbage,
not flush them.
Yes.
We have a lot of problems at the senior center with, and this happens weekly, with flushing diapers. And and it's bad because it really like backs up. I mean, they're big diapers, and like flushing a baby diaper is bad, let alone a huge, an adult person's diaper.
Some old person's like, back in my day, we flushed diapers all the time. I don't see what the big fucking problem is. You're like, just put it in the garbage can, you lazy asshole.
We're like, that's why our sewers are finally shitty as hell, because all these old people have been flushing diapers all these years.
So like,
as we've learned on this show, there's only 4 things that are allowed in a toilet, and it's pee, poop, vomit, and toilet paper. Nothing else.
That's it.
Nothing
Even the wipes are no good.
Yeah, wipes are good. No condoms.
Nothing.
Just don't put. I mean, it's just. I mean, that's just like the diaper thing is insane. So again, this will work. This will flush.
Recently, at that very same senior center, we got called. So we don't do like janitorial stuff, but sometimes if there's an emergency, they'll call us and be like, "Hey, the janitor's not around. We need help." And they called us and they were like, "Someone had an accident in the bathroom. It's everywhere. This poor woman, she let it go, and it was bad. It was everywhere. It was such a mess. So we cleaned everything up. This poor lady, whatever. So they helped her out. They cleaned her up. They got her home. Like 2 weeks later, they called us and they were like, so sorry to call you guys again, but we don't have the janitor on hand, and we had another accident, and we came back and it was the same woman. Same thing. I'm like, maybe she shouldn't be going out. She shouldn't be going out. Maybe, I don't know. Or maybe wearing a diaper or something.
I mean, this might sound a little evil, but I think, I mean, if I got that call the second time, like, look, I get it. I'd be so angry cleaning that shit up. I'm like, lady,
like again,
because like,
where was she pooing? Where was the accident?
She got into the bathroom, but I think like her whole. I don't know if it was her sitting down or like the situation, but it was just on the floor, on the wall, like on the toilet.
She should have like mandatory Imodium every day. Binds that shit.
Like mandatory,
like
just
of it.
Like a complete, like full iron diaper. Just like put whatever they got to do. Because I'm like, I'm not cleaning this shit, man. I don't know. That's really, that sucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. It happens. I mean, like, it's definitely helped me deal with poop better, I think, because now it's just those situations I'm like, this is so bad. Like the other situations, like with my kids and stuff, I'm like, this is
like cakewalk compared to that.
That's great.
I mean, like your bar
and like in a diaper, I'm like, okay,
your bar is so high for shitty, like gross stuff that it's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me as much anymore.
Holy shit. That is out the gate. That's like
fully old.
Unbelievable.
It's old shit. And yeah, it's for some reason I think like maybe because they eat healthier. I think because they're grown, like I think back in the day there was like eat your Brussels sprouts and your potatoes or whatever, and it was like they ate like pretty healthy, and then but I also think they're old, so they don't give a fuck, so like they're kind of eating. It's like a little bit of everything is in there, and it's just like a strange amalgamation of.
There's like a rascal scooter in there, a walker. And you're like, what the
fuck? I think the opposite. I think they like older people get more constipation, and so I've heard that in like old folks' homes and care facilities, they actually put laxatives in the food.
In their food?
Yeah.
Do they tell them?
Well, they
sneak
put
it
like
in.
maybe like a little Metamucil, you know, like not like a little sprinkle, like a little Parmesan.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that sucks.
Up, but it's too lubed.
No, man. Or make a bigger pipe. Get a bigger.
Yeah, right.
Make a fucking.
And there are
like,
a lot of
triple,
seniors
like
there. And then they ordered these toilets that like the flushometer toilets that are like super crazy flush strength, like, so they wanted those, and they told like the plumber that did the job, they were like, we want like the super strong flushy toilets because we have problems with diapers and things from time to time. So they were like, sure. So they understood what they said, and they put in these like economical,
the
like
low
they're
flow?
like these. Yeah, and they're like, it's like one flush, and then you have to wait like 20 minutes for like, it to, like, refill.
No.
And it's like not strong at all. It like and it was like the opposite of what they needed. So that definitely didn't help. It didn't help.
Also, how do they fuck that up? It's like, we want the strongest thing you got. Okay, you want the you want the weakest thing? Cool. All I heard was weak. Someone's like, yeah, sure, weak, strong, whatever.
But like garbage disposals and kitchen sinks, like chew up all the food.
Yeah,
they should be putting that in their toilet.
Yes, or at least like
something that just
like a combo, or just shit in the sink, like just with a garbage disposal. I mean,
yes.
That's
such a good idea. How is that not a thing?
And that's probably why the janitor wasn't around. He's like, I am not dealing with this again.
I'm not dealing. I know this. He sees the lady walking. He's like, this fucking lady.
I'm not dealing with Gladys again.
With Gladys.
I'm not doing that. I'm on my break. Fuck you guys.
Fucking Ethel's here.
Yeah, Ethel.
She's drinking. She's drinking Dunkin'.
Oh my
what's
God.
Coming.
You should go into the bathroom. You're like, nope. I'm just gonna just suddenly not be around.
I just realized as this is happening, like I'm outside on like our porch, and just realized I have my headphones on, and I'm just like, my neighbor, like they can't hear you guys, so I'm just talking about shit by myself.
Right.
Really
It's like, I think you're going crazy.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
You're going crazy. They're like, yeah, this guy's doing a one-man show. Nothing.
Just practicing.
I mean, look, you have a porch. That's pretty sweet. So, I mean, that's amazing. I'm in my.
It's cool. Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, it's cool. We're in the sticks though. We're pretty far down there in Jersey, the old Jersey sticks, but it's cool. It's cool.
So let's get into more questions and stories. Taylor, do you have more stuff to tell us, or should we ask you some of our regular questions?
Whatever you guys want. Well,
I mean, that was pretty damn epic.
I mean, I don't think anything's going to compare to that one. Jesus. That was a disaster. I'm glad you survived that mentally and physically.
Yeah, I appreciate it. That was a rough one. Like the only other ones I had, like I had a moment, and I think this is like a huge. I always had like a thing with. I don't know if I don't mind people knowing that I just took a shit or I have to shit or whatever, but I always had a problem. Yeah, I don't even mind people like smelling my shit, I guess, but I was just like, I don't want people hearing me shit. That was always my big thing.
Yeah,
so I
hate that.
Yeah, I think that's like the biggest thing for me. So I remember when Laura and I first met, maybe not when we first met, but we were early on dating, and I was at her parents' house, and their main bathroom had no fan. And I was always like very like, I don't want to use this bathroom because it's so quiet. So I would like run the faucet or something and try to like drown out the noise. Yeah.
I've done that.
Yeah. And it was like, I remember it was like Christmas Eve or something, and we were over, and I had to poo, and I went in and I did, and it was pretty quiet, but they were in the basement and I was like upstairs. So I was like, oh, this is perfect. Like they're downstairs. No one will ever know that I shit. And I just like really quick, bop, 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 bop. And then they had a little spray bottle thing. So I sprayed it, and it was like a cinnamony Christmassy thing. And for whatever reason, I thought it was like a Febreze can. So I was spraying it like, I was giving it a healthy mist in the room. Come to find out, it was like one of those one dose kind of like quick little spray guys. Yeah. And I went back down and we were playing. I remember her parents had just got like a gaming table, like a roulette like thing. And we were all like playing it and having fun. And then like, I remember her dad being like, wow, you guys smell like cinnamon? And I'm like, oh, that's weird. And then like, we were in the basement, like, and then like all of a sudden, like the whole family was like choking and like crying. We were it was like we had been bombed by like a
cinnamon roll.
So not only like did they know, they knew exactly what it was. Like they were like, we know that smell, like we used that spray. And like so now like they know that I took a shit and I completely like cleared the house out of any sort of joy because it was like all the windows were now open.
You just gassed him out.
Oh
my God.
It was like a whole situation. Like, and I was like, this is so much worse.
You're like, I need to leave now.
Yeah, that was it. I was like, well, but we stayed together. And here we are.
See, love.
It's like
love
prevails.
Yeah, love prevails in the end.
Do you remember the cinnamon challenges where people would take huge spoonfuls of cinnamon?
That. Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
You did that.
I
in
almost
the bathroom
died
too. Yes.
I did.
That would have been great if you did that in the bathroom too. Like you're just eating cinnamon and spraying. You're like, you're like.
That is the worst. Have you guys done that?
No, because it looked awful.
Worst.
No, I've never done that. No.
Feeling ever. Don't ever do it.
I saw it online. I'm like, good.
Early on. Yeah. I did it like before I saw it online, and like it was like, and someone told me to do it, and I was just like, yeah, I could do that shit. I did whatever, and it was the worst. It's the worst feeling ever.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't need that.
It's horrible. You can't swallow and you can't spit, which is the worst part because you just want like some sort of
just sucks all the moisture out. Oh,
and you're coughing up clouds. It's terrible.
And the weird thing is, if you find a person that can do that with no problem, that you do not want to hang out with that person because they're probably a psychopath.
They're an
alien, crazy person. Yes. But I too have done that thing where I don't want to shit in front of people. Hear it, and then. I told the story before a long time ago, but we were snowboarding and we got we were going to drive back to New York. We're just like, fuck, we're too tired. We got this little shitty motel, like one of those motels, like where the door opens up into the parking lot.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, it had 2 beds and the papers, like the walls are made of fucking paper. I take a shit and I'm in there and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't realize how like the bed is like, I mean, if I open the bathroom door, it almost hits one of the beds and there's 3 people in there. It's all quiet. We're all tired watching TV really low. And I'm just sitting in there and I was turned the faucet on and I'm just like, I'm like trying to do that thing where you're trying to like, use your fucking sphincter to kind of just lightly, and like every once in a while there'd be like a and I'm like, fuck.
You're doing yourself more damage. It's like one big one or
exactly.
You're just
yeah. So I'm just, of course, I'm prolonging the thing. And then I get out and my old roommate friend that we were sharing the bed and it's all quiet. He goes, I heard you in there trying to be all quiet, trying to be all stealthy with the water.
Worst feeling.
Yeah, with the water. And part of me was like, I was laughing so hard. My other 2 friends, one guy I didn't even know really. I'm like, oh, fuck. Everybody heard that? So fucking embarrassing.
I hate that.
Yeah. But
then do you mind farting in front of people?
Never me.
It depends on the person. Like, I don't know. I'm just like, I get like, if it happens, it happens. Like if it's for friends, I don't give a shit. But if it's like people I don't really know, I'm like, ugh.
Like I fart all the time at work or whatever. I don't care ever. And then like this might sound crazy, but like, I think in our, like Laura and I have been together for like 16 years or something. And I think I farted in front of her like 3 or 4 times, maybe. Aww. And like probably twice by accident because I don't know what it is. I have like,
you want to keep the romance alive.
I get that.
I don't know if that's it. I think maybe.
Well,
yeah,
actually there are studies that say couples that fart in front of each other, it's a stronger relationship. So just rip some ass.
I've read that, but like we've been together for 15 years and we're still happy. I don't know.
She's like, you never fart in front of me.
I don't know if she could handle my guess. I don't know. Like maybe that's why. I don't know.
Well, what happens when you have to fart and she's around? Do you go into the other room? What do you do?
I'll just like either hold it, which is probably very unhealthy, or I'll go to the bathroom and just like
let it go.
Yeah.
I mean, like even when I was shooting with those models in Toronto, I was like hanging out with them after, and I was like, we were outside, and I was like, I gotta fart. I'm just going to go do it right here. And they just laughed at me. So I mean, no problem.
Yeah. I guess it's not like, I don't have like if I'm at work with my friends or whatever, like I'll just fart constantly and it's funny and it's fine. But I don't know, something about with her and with my kids, it's fun. It's like fun to fart around them. That's very funny.
Yeah.
But like
for kids for sure.
Yeah, they love it and I love it. It makes me laugh. And now when they fart, it's very funny to them. And then that is like the best thing ever because you're like, you're discovering it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not super gassy like that, but I fart in front of my wife. She doesn't, she farts.
Yeah,
my wife is really gassy. She burps a lot too. And I'm like, oh my God. The burping grosses me out more than the farting actually. I hate burping.
Yeah, the burping is like a prerequisite to like puking.
Yeah. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I'm not into it. I mean, I burp.
I like them all.
You're not into burping?
I'm into burping.
I love it all.
Belching.
Burping, farting. Let's let it rip.
Burping is fun though. Like
And
I
it's
feel like
fun. It's funny.
it is funny.
Yeah.
Like a good, like a burp that where your lips like move like someone from The Simpsons.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
that's a
Yeah,
good burp.
exactly.
Yeah.
Barney.
And sometimes I can burp like a trucker. Like it's just like, "Wah," and I'm like, yeah, that came out of
Hell
me.
yeah. And it feels so good. Like it does.
I had a roommate who, I mean, it was insane how much he burped. And I think after that, I was a shell shock from that. I'm like, dude, fucking, can you just control this? It's disgusting. This sounds like you're gonna puke at any second. That's what I'm waiting for. Like, it's like you're kind of like, oh. So maybe that's what it's from. But I don't know. I'm not into it. As my mother calls it, belching. It's like baby's burp.
Classic.
Adults belch.
What do you guys? Well, fart. Like we're all adults. We probably call it farting or whatever. But like my one daughter called it fluffing for whatever reason.
Cute.
And like I fluffed. Like, and that was always like a funny thing. And the other one calls it tooting, which is like a pretty normal kid thing to call it, I think.
But they're both cute.
It's fun. Yeah.
I've heard poo.
Especially a little girl. She's like, Daddy, I don't fart. I fluff.
I fluff. Yeah.
I mean, I
do little girly farts.
when I think of, I'm like, I don't know, maybe switch the fluffing thing off because I'm like, ooh, that sounds like something, you know. But they're kids, whatever.
I can just see her doing it in a pink tutu. She's like, I'm fluffing.
Yeah.
You're like, come again? What? Oh my God. Hilarious.
I was going to ask you guys, because I like do like a movie podcast and we always talk about movies, and obviously like the clear cut like front runner poop scene, Dumb and Dumber, like diarrhea scene, it's got to be like number one or
it's up there.
2, 3.
Yeah, we did a movie episode like in the first year we were doing the podcast, and it was in the top 10 list. I think Bridesmaids
is in there.
Ooh,
but
that's
we
a good
gave
one, too.
the number one to Divine and Pink Flamingos because she ate shit. And
Right,
we were like,
Yeah, I mean,
true.
it was dog shit, but still, you're eating feces. That's fucking pretty hardcore. So yeah,
right. Those are like the classics. But did you have Dogma? You have like the shit monster.
Oh yeah,
that's a good one too. But
and the shit monster,
Weird Science.
Weird Science. We want to do, because we do horror movies on our podcast, and I was thinking like, because I was talking to Laura and she was like, oh, you should have Dave and Ellen on, and I was like, oh yeah, like we totally should have. I was thinking, man, what movie could we do? And then I was like, Human Centipede would be the clear cut.
I've never seen that.
They're pooping. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect.
I hate horror movies, but I would take one for the team for the podcast.
That's even better, because the guy, I do this show with the guy who is my best friend growing up, and he can't even watch like the simplest one, and I make him watch like the worst, like
oh my
like
God,
really dark,
that's like my worst nightmare. Like
movies.
I'm like so not into horror movies. Like so that makes it
that
funny.
That one's like a bit silly. Like that one's like a little like self-aware that how ridiculous it is. Like it's a little bit ridiculous, but that's a perfect one for you guys. It's
we wanted to do a horror movie theme. We interviewed this one guy from Scotland who's a horror movie buff, and I was like the fear, like the fight or flight fear that happens to a human being actually makes more people shit their pants than we would like to admit. And I'm like, why isn't that more in horror movies? Like,
like shitting
we should
your
be
pants.
talking about these characters. They should have been shitting their pants while they were being murdered, you know?
One of the guy that I do the podcast with, Sean, one of the things that happens to him when he becomes afraid, he gets like 3 physical things, and like one of them is teary eyes, which is strange. The other one, his nipples get really hard.
Ooh, fetish.
I think it's because he gets goosebumps. I don't know. I'm assuming that's like part of it. And then his butthole like puckers up, and I think that's kind of a normal fear thing, right? Like if you're going down like a roller coaster, you like kind of clench, like you get like you just get like tense. I think
maybe that's your clenching to make sure you don't shit your pants.
That's another. People have brought that up. Yeah, like you're holding the gates closed.
Yeah. Because
interesting.
The reason that a fart sounds the way it does, they say it's because you have the 2 sphincters, and when the air leaves, one is closing while the other's opening. So that's what makes the like sound. It's like it's the same way that a balloon makes a sound. Like if you left the balloon open and let the air out, it just goes. but if you squeeze it tighter, it makes more of a
Right.
so like farting noises. So it's because the sphincter is opening and closing really to make sure shit doesn't fall out your asshole.
Right.
But then also don't.
But sometimes
trust
it
the fart.
does.
Yeah.
Never do that. Never.
I've never. I don't know. I've never. I'm trying to. Yeah, I mean, that'd be great to talk to someone like in a near-death experience if they shit their pants.
Have you?
I mean, I've never had that happen to me, but that's interesting.
You've never shit your pants, or just
no. Sorry, in that I've shit my pants, but I've had near-death experiences where I'm like, I'm surprised I didn't shit my pants, or just I think when I get in those situations, sometimes I have this reverse thing where I have a motorcycle, so this one time we were like right around the corner from where we live, we're going somewhere. It was a long time ago, going through the intersection, and it's like this one intersection. It's like it's not super even that crazy, but this car is coming, and I'm like in my head, like I'm thinking, I'm like, wow, that guy's really. It's a red light. I'm like, he's really not slowing down, and I'm going, and like now we're getting closer. I'm like, wow, he's not stopping, and now I'm just like, you're too close to stop, so I had to gun it, and then this motherfucker, I could see him, and he realizes he's going through a red light. He just slams on the brakes, and I don't know how it was like a slow mo. Everything was just like, okay, this is what I have to do. I'm going fast enough, but it didn't like. But it's weird because like stuff like that. If it was like there are a couple hundred yards before that, that's when I get even more nervous. But when it's actually happening, I become way less. You just, I don't know. It's like
you like accept your fate. Or
well,
like,
I think it's a level of calm that comes over you. Like I can't do anything about this right now. Here's what it's like. You gotta don't fall. Don't like whatever you gotta do to get out of the situation. But I mean,
it'd be good reflexes. That's that's very mechanical. Like
that is usually
survival.
That is completely the opposite of my normal personality. So I don't know what the fuck. Normally it's very weird. 'Cause I think to my wife's on the back too, and I'm like, okay, you got to just figure this out. So she's not gonna get hurt, But it is interesting to see if an axe murderer was coming towards me. I probably would shit my pants, or I don't know. Maybe who knows? Probably start crying. Like, oh my god, don't kill me, please.
Yeah, I mean, it also depends like what your stomach's like. Did you ever like if you have a funky stomach and you're going to do something that might be a little exciting or like, you're going to like, I don't know, to go to an event or something. And you're like, this is like an exciting thing. Maybe you might be nervous or you have to make a speech or something like that. And that's when it kind of like everything gets a little bubbly and weird. But like when that fear comes, like if you're already having like a strange stomach, it could be disastrous.
Yeah. I mean, probably. It hasn't happened, but if anybody out there it's happened, like hit us up.
Yeah.
Like just go to heypoopypodcast.com and then we'll talk. We'll interview you. Fuck it. Like we'll just
scare the shit out of you. Like someone that has had the shit scared out of them.
Yeah. We'll do like one of those cheesy reenactments. He's so good.
When I have anxiety, like especially when I'm on a photo shoot, I feel like the opposite happens where like I just bind up, and that's when I get anxiety gas like crazy, where like I can't stop farting because the air is going through but the shit is staying in.
Right. And
like I photograph naked ladies, so I'm literally blasting off these stink bombs in front of like this gorgeous woman, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm a disgusting human being.
You're not disgusting. You're
I take a lot of pictures of naked women as well, and I've luckily, knock on wood, I've never done that because I think I'd be like, all right, we're stopping. Like, I
do that every
oh my god,
time.
I think I would
every time. There's so many behind the scenes video of like, sorry guys, I just farted, like way too many times.
I think I just jinxed myself.
You're definitely next time. You're farting.
I'm like, sorry about that.
It's gonna be like the Step Brothers fart too. Where it's
long,
thin,
the super long one. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I should probably play that right now.
That's a great fart.
That is a great fart. It's shockingly not in my soundboard. I forgot to put that in my new soundboard. But yeah, that one was awesome. It's like, did you just fart? He's like, no. He's like,
how do you guys deal with like, because I feel like most people have shit their pants, and even if they like, a lot of people are like, oh, I feel like everyone's probably shit their pants.
Yes.
How do you
and when somebody says they didn't, I say you're a fucking liar.
Yeah, right. Like, and how do you guys deal with it? Like, what do you are you like, oh god, I just shit my pants, or do you try to cover it up and just like exit the room slowly backwards?
Luckily, for me, it hasn't happened in a situation where I've been like, like
in like a public
at a function or anything. Like it's been like I was camping or riding my bike home, like that kind of thing. Like, or I'm at home.
Right. So you could kind of deal with.
Yeah. So, but I mean, yeah, if it happened in front of people, I'd be like, I'm leaving right now. Like, there's no, like, I'm not gonna be like, all right, I'll come back. It's like I gotta go. Like,
I did at work, and not at this job, but at an old job, and I was like, oh no, I didn't know what to do. And I was near like a gas can, and I poured gasoline. I told this on my other podcast once, but I poured gasoline all over my pants, and I ran inside to where my boss was, and I was like, I just spilled gas all over my pants. I have to go home. And he was
That's
like, oh yeah,
yeah.
That's a
and
good
then I
move.
went home with a bunch of shit in my pants and cleaned up.
Oh my God, that is the best move I've ever heard.
Just
like,
keep gas on you, babes.
Yeah.
or like
Everybody
even
just
a
I like
water
it.
bottle.
That's a
you
great
could, like,
technique.
just, like, do something
Sure.
where you're like,
You're just,
not
like,
where
out
it
there-
looked like you peed your pants,
Right.
but like,
Yeah.
You're just
or like
dousing
spill
yourself.
like some like food on you or something. Be like, oh my God, I just made a mess. I gotta go home.
I gotta change. Or you tore your shirt. You could even just kind of rip your shirt, maybe.
Yeah.
And be like, I gotta go. I ripped my shirt. I gotta change my clothes.
Or you could be like, I
Bam,
shit my
you're
pants.
done.
I gotta go home. Or you could be truthful. Just be like, I shit my pants.
Be
I
like,
gotta go home.
I just came in my pants. I have
And
to go
there's
home. Like, just tell them something worse.
If you told them that,
it's
they'd be like, yeah, go home, man. Like, there's no sort of like, well, it's like, yeah, you should go home.
Wait, so
Don't come back.
up. Tell us this full story. What did you eat? What made you shit your pants?
I think like 'cause at the time I was working at like a driving range so like I drove the cart that the golfers aim at. That was like
Yes.
my job.
To pick up
And
all the balls?
I was picking up the balls, and I was actually washing the balls at the time. And it just,
Sounds like the beginning of a porno.
Exactly. I was washing my balls, and I trusted a fart, and that was it. But I think it was like when I worked there, it was like a situation where we would order food like every night and from like a pizza place. So it was like probably like a meatball parm sub situation, just greasy, whatever. Not
It
good.
failed you.
Just ripped
It
through you.
failed me.
Yeah.
But I was proud of, my quick thinking.
Yeah, that's
and the
genius.
moment. But it worked out really good because it was available to me in that kind of like setting. But otherwise, I don't know what I would have done. I've had my friend Matt told me once that he shit his pants in his car. He like couldn't make it home. And he was like almost home. And he's like, fuck it. I have to go. And he went, and he lived in an apartment complex. And I remember he said when he got home, he had to like, he had to keep waiting for everyone to like get out of their cars and like walk to the apartment, and he was like pretending to be on his phone, and he was like waving to them all, and like he was just like sitting there in his own shit, like waiting to go inside.
He's like, yeah, how's it going? Yeah,
like-
shit my pants. Okay.
Okay,
All right. Yeah.
yeah.
Good to see you.
That's a rough one. Like that's tough.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
to go back to your question, Taylor, I feel
Yeah.
like, yes, when we all shit our pants, the shame takes over and we don't want to admit it. So we do whatever we can to fix the problem. But
Sure.
then you come on our show and we celebrate you.
It's
And
great.
you can tell the story.
tell the world.
As I've said this before, and I'll say it again, shame thrives when you're alone. So once you start admitting your shame, it just goes away. And then we get to have fun with it.
That's great.
you're at someone's wedding. Hey, everybody, I shit my pants. Like, there's something be like, fuck that.
And they're like, you're the bride.
Yeah, exactly.
You should have
Ooh.
chose that color first
Yeah.
of all. And second of all,
See the stains? Like, let's keep us rolling. Come on, whatever.
Don't tell people at a wedding. Tell
I'm
people
joking.
here on our show.
Yeah, that would
Very-
be.
Invite you on.
That's
Hell
so
yeah.
fucking
I mean-
funny.
You just answered our question: floor versus pants. So
yeah. Got
I
it.
mean,
Yeah. I mean, I
pants
guess that
did.
wasn't a choice, but yeah, I guess it would.
Yeah.
I would still probably choose pants regardless.
yeah. Well, I mean, the question is: there's no toilet in sight, and you
Because if you
have
leave it on the floor, then they know.
the floor can be anything. Like we've had people who have shit in like plastic bags on their kitchen floor.
I think
It could be in the
the
woods.
question is very circumstantial. I think we should tailor it where we can go like, okay, you're in Walmart. You're
Sure.
no toilet. You shit your pants. What are you choosing? Because like then you kind of like
Pants
forced
or
into
floor.
a decision.
That might
I
be a
agree
fun.
with you, but there's so many videos of people in grocery stores just shitting in aisles. Like
Yeah.
Completely. But would Taylor be one of those people? Inquiring minds want to know.
Like you're saying, I think it's situational.
Yes.
So depending on
It's-
what substances are in me, depending on what, you know what I mean? Like there's, maybe I would take, maybe I'd be like, you know what, this is never going to happen again. I'm going to go for it and just let it go.
Yeah.
You know, if I see there's not a lot of security cameras, maybe I'm taking that shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
You
See,
know,
if this
it's
was
tough.
like the 80s or 70s where maybe there wasn't that many security type things. You could be like, yeah, I'm going to take a shit at Marshall's, no problem. Now,
like
You go in the middle of the coat rack. And
yeah, like now it's like there's people with the cell phones. Like you're going to wind up on some meme. It's just like
You're
awful.
definitely
And if you
everywhere,
if you have them as a meme, it's over. It's a wrap. You're like, fuck.
Well, that's like in the 60s and 70s, all of a sudden these serial murderers were like becoming like bigger. And it's like, it wasn't because all of a sudden people were murdering people more. It was because we were like reporting it on the news more.
Sure.
And so like, it's like how many people were getting murdered before that? Also probably just a lot and maybe more because people were getting away with it.
Oh yeah. Cause there's
And so like, I'm thinking like in the 70s and 80s, were there more shit on floors that we just don't know about?
There must have been.
Yeah.
I mean, the only reason
shit forever.
If anything, the advent of cell phones with cameras and everything have like probably, made that number a lot smaller for sure. Cause you just want to be like, wait a minute, I can't do this.
But it's also like those, like that group of people that are like, dude, go take a shit on this thing and we'll videotape it.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? So there's also that too.
Pranks aside, like pranks and like, dares aside. I mean, like you're just like, oh my God, I gotta
emergency
go.
shit.
Yeah. Because I mean, look, back in the day, license, like when you get a driver's license, it was paper. It was like just like written. There was no photo.
Right.
So, you can get away with anything at that point. Like it's like, yeah,
Back in the
that's
day,
mine.
people were driving drunk with no seatbelts on.
Yeah.
This is only like 60 years ago.
Doctors smoked. I mean, there was no like,
While they were operating.
Yeah. They're like, ashtray, please.
Taylor, what is your favorite brand of toilet paper and do you put it on the roll over or under?
So I gotta go. The pandemic was tough because there was like the shortages and we don't really splurge on much in the house. Like we do a lot of like ShopRite brand stuff or whatever brand. Like we go like, we don't really do a lot of name brand stuff, but toilet paper, I'm like, I got to have my Charmin. I like my Charmin. It's very soft. It's just comforting. And I go over because I'm not a psychopath. No, I don't know. I go over because I feel like it's the natural way for it to go. I feel like it's trickier to rip it when it's going under. And when it's going over, I could still, with a flick of a wrist, kind of like rip it right off if I need to, if I'm like holding the phone like stinker tinker time with my left hand. And then I rip the toilet paper with the right hand. It's easier.
Okay. So that's another one for over. Over is pretty much the everybody says
is it
over.
Always over? Like, has anyone said under? I mean
I'm under, but like
you're an under.
Yeah, there's like it's a small fraction. It's a small.
He's a psychopath.
We had. See, this is so funny. We had dominatrix on not too long ago, and she was like, "I go over because like what kind of psychopath would put it under?" And I'm like, "What kind of psychopath eats shit?" I'm like, "That's way crazier." But I'm like, hey, you gotta.
Everyone's got their
You gotta pick your side, I guess.
Exactly. You're allowed to have your preference.
Yeah, it's
your preference.
That's right. It's whatever works for you, right?
Yes.
You guys are part of the moral majority and all that.
Yeah.
Which I think is crazy.
Claire, also, when you poo, do you sit or stand to wipe your butt?
It's not a mixture at all. It's a sit, but it's like a lean. Yeah, it's a side lean to the left for sure. Now that I'm sitting, it's a side lean to the left.
So you can wipe
and a bit forward as well. Sometimes I guess it depends on like what has happened and what I need to attend to. But yeah, it's usually definitely a lean situation.
Cool.
It's normal.
Nice.
Okay. I'm curious. Like I get like, are people curious as to what the other answers were? Because now it's like, am I weird?
Well, most people are shocked that there's any standards. Period.
I guess that I was too.
We've had a few. We've had a few.
Get a stander.
There's not too many of them, but we've definitely had some standers. Like straight up, people just stand.
Was Kim K a stander? I'm just kidding. I don't know. Me and Kim have been friends a long time. I thought it was so crazy that she was.
Yeah,
on the
it
podcast.
is.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
We used to be in a ska band together. Yeah.
Really? That's so funny.
Yeah, she played trumpet.
Such a small world.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's hilarious.
You wouldn't think that there would be so many people who are connected with their poop, but they really.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
who would ever think that like all these human beings in the world like poop? It's crazy.
Completely.
We love it.
What's also your best cure for diarrhea and constipation?
I've always had like crazy stomach problems from childhood on, like, and still take like heartburn. I have like heartburn stuff, but with poo, I think I always had like Pepto at the house for diarrhea kind of situationals. And then as far as constipation, I think we did like prune juice maybe. As a kid, those were like the standards. Yeah. I think the Pepto was what I always took. I don't know if it worked, but like, that's what I took.
Pepto had worked very well for me.
Yeah, it worked for my heartburn for a while. Now I'm like past the point of Pepto. I need like some heavy meds.
Prilosec.
Yeah, some Prilo. We got some, Meprazole. I mean, it's all over the place. It's nice.
You're like, you just got stashes everywhere in the house. You're like, bam.
my doctor's like, they're really like, you just need to stop drinking beer and eating like spicy food. And I'm like, that's all I want to consume. So it's hard for me. Yeah. So I'd rather just take medication for the rest of my life.
Yeah. You're like, fuck it, I'm taking this.
Yeah.
Respect.
Also, what's your first memory as a kid of poops and farts?
The first one I can remember is, as far as farts, is I feel like everyone had this as a kid, but maybe, I don't know, but it was like the gym floor, like farting on the gym floor. It was like a wooden, it's just so echoey in like the gym. And like, it was the best to this day, still the best like sounding fart is like a gym floor, wooden like gym floor fart. It's so loud.
And the gymnasium has that like billowing, echoing.
Awesome acoustics.
Yeah.
It's really not like that. I remember just like kids doing it. And this kid, Matt, that I just remember as in like kindergarten, I just remember him like knowing that it was funny to like fart and make us laugh. So he just didn't care and would always just do it. And it was like never like the teacher would like laugh. Like it was just like always funny.
Yeah.
So that was
until the one day he shit his pants.
Until the one day he shit his pants. And that was my first memory of shit.
That's so funny.
Is there any products that you really like to help you with pooping besides toilet paper?
I tried the Squatty Potty. And I really liked it. I thought I didn't realize how comfortable it was to poo that way. I thought it was great. And I don't know what happened to it. I don't know when we moved, if it got lost or what, but I don't know where it is, but I did enjoy using it.
Yeah. A stool works for your stool.
Yeah, it was great. Do you guys use it or?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's good. It's like, I feel like it's a good thing.
I don't use it all the time, but I definitely use it. Like if I'm having like one of those days where like, I got to get up on this thing. But it's nice.
Get up on this thing.
Exactly.
This is an event.
It is.
This is a fucking event.
Well, I'm not super flexible, so it's not like the most comfortable position for me, but it does help. I would say.
Yeah.
My toilet is so tricked out with so many things that I do, from the stool to my bidet to like I even have this thing that automatically cleans the toilet the minute I flush. Like
what?
Yeah.
Oh, the thing that like sticks on the side or the.
No, it's called a Shine. I'll send it to you. It sprays this like natural bleach in the minute you flush, so I don't have to clean the bowl as much. Yeah. Wow. And so like, I want it all. I want to have the most luxurious spa like moment while I'm pooping.
Do you guys remember, or I don't know if you ever watched the show, but Robin Big, it was like a TV show years ago. Do you remember his toilet, Big Black's toilet? Oh, it was Rob had made him a custom, like it was so amazing. It was a recliner, but it just had a toilet seat in the middle of it. It was like a real recliner too, but it actually was a toilet. It was the coolest. You got to look.
That's hilarious.
It was so fucking cool.
Hilarious.
That is really funny.
And besides all the pooping stories that you've told us, is there anything else that you want to add to, like either the worst bathroom you've been in?
I was kind of waiting on that question because I think overall bowling alley bathrooms are usually pretty bad, but like obviously like the gas station bathrooms are rough, but I used to work at a $2 movie theater in Freehold, New Jersey. It was like a discount cinema.
Oh yeah,
so we got the movies like after they came out. In the
been there a couple of those.
yeah. And I used to work at one, and I have, dude. There's so many stories that from that place that are insane. Like I think we like solved a murder. One, it was like really crazy. Yeah. Well, that's a separate episode.
Yeah, different podcast.
Yeah, but we did have a group of we would have like groups of people come in to see movies, and we had like this group of handicapped people came in to see a movie once, and they destroyed the bathroom. Like, I mean, there was shit like everywhere. It was crazy. It was really bad.
Oh my God.
And that was the worst bathroom ever. Because after that, it honestly, like, we cleaned it, and it was never the same after that. And it was not a good bathroom to begin with, but like,
it made it 10 times worse. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was rough.
Woo, that is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, we could get into a little game, a little segment we call Shitty Choices.
Shitty Choices.
And you get 2 shitty choices.
Okay.
You got to pick one. And we're going to, the first thing I have for you is, I mean, I don't know, I'm just laughing because I'm looking at, I have all my shitty choices like lined up here on this sheet. And then I just look at all the ones we've done before, and it just makes me laugh just reading some of these. But your first choice is you can fart loudly every time you laugh. So every time you laugh, super, like whatever your loudest fart is, and magnify that by 10. So like just ridiculously loud.
It doesn't matter how hard you're laughing.
No, it could be a chuckle, it could be a belly, whatever. If it's a laugh, you fart.
Okay.
Or you laugh uncontrollably whenever you watch a murder show, movie, or podcast. Very apropos for what we were talking about earlier.
Right.
So,
oh wow.
And I mean like uncomfortably.
Like
yeah, if you're at a movie theater with a friend, and I mean uncomfortably laughing, where people are like, "What the fuck?" Like a gruesome murder.
Like the Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I would do that.
Be the Joker.
Yeah, because you could have, I guess the other way as well. If you had the fart thing, you could also like start laughing and farting, and then you hand them like the card that says like, "I'm sorry I fart when I laugh."
Either way,
it was either this, or like the card says like it was either this, or I would laugh at murder stuff. And that's like, but like, I think I would go with the murder thing, just because I would think it would be funny knowing that it was just because I had to make one of these choices.
You had this thing. And like you could be like Robert,
would understand.
You'd be like Robert De Niro in Cape Fear. He's like, you're like, what? Like, I mean, super loud. We're like, what the fuck?
He's so buff in that movie.
Oh yeah, that movie was so excellent.
In that movie.
He was excellent in that film.
He's doing those push-ups at the beginning, and the man.
You're like, oh shit.
Bobby D.
Great.
What about you, Dave? What are you choosing?
Oof, I had to go with fart loudly. I thought about I just don't want to be that person walking around like
it's psychotic.
Like watching a TV show. I mean, it's like just like completely like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I mean, like you're hunched over, like belly ache, laughing, crying, and people are like, oh my God, this person's a nut. Like, so I'm gonna go with fart loudly.
Yeah. Well, I remember that movie Happiness. That was like probably one of the most fucked up movies ever made. I saw that in the theater and could not stop laughing.
There were moments of it that were funny.
There were moments that were funny.
I was so uncomfortable that I was like explosively laughing, and I was I'm a disturbed individual. Like, and there were people walking out of the theater. There was like a couple other people laughing with me, but then there were people like, what is wrong? Like literally people were saying out loud, like, stop laughing. And I was like, I'm so uncomfortable. This is the only way I could get through this. But so I would not choose the laughing because that was a terrible experience for me. But also, like on the show, I'm laughing hysterically all the time. So to add in fart effects while we're recording would just be perfect.
Love it. Yeah.
Right. I mean,
like best of both worlds.
I like to think of these challenges not necessarily, I mean, it's who we are now, but rather just like everyday life. Like you're just like, just walking around.
I pretty much do that already. I'm farting all the fucking
But like I said, like I'm talking like a fart, like whatever your loudest fart is, but like magnify that by like, 10, 100.
As long as I don't shit my pants, it's
no shit in your pants.
I would
just farting. Yeah, I'm
do
gonna.
it.
That's good.
Yeah, so we got 2 for fart loudly and 1 for
I'll laugh at the murder stuff.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna put like laugh uncontrollably loud when someone told you they were sad or depressed. That just seems even more mean. I don't know.
More sadistic.
That's definitely more
That would have been a shittier choice. That actually, I mean, well, whatever. We're going with murder show. Like, how you doing?
Great.
I'm feeling pretty sad. You're like, could you imagine? You're what a fucking asshole. No, it's not. I just have this thing. I don't.
Yeah, you'd be like the Joker.
Oh my god, that'd be great. You're like, fuck off. All right, so now we're gonna get into a little news. All right, so this comes from, I mean, once again, the New York Post. Shitty paper, but they got a whole poop section, which is insane to me that a major newspaper has a poop section on their website. But we got to report it. So Yaron Steinbuch, I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but this happened on January 7th of 2020. And of course, in Florida, a woman, and so the first sentence, she was full of crap. God, the Post is horrible. Anyway, so this woman in Florida was accused for flinging a bucket of human feces in her landlord's face. Claimed she meant to throw a bucket of water, but got the 2 containers mixed up. First of all, one, who's shitting in a bucket? And then that's pretty. There's no way you're mixing those 2 up. I'm sorry.
Yes.
What if you have number 6 poops or if you have
the smell,
watery poo?
The smell, unless your water smells like shit.
But if you got COVID, you don't know.
I mean, who knows?
No, but who has both of those things laying around?
Well, I mean, clearly that was an excuse. So the Volusia County Sheriff Deputy responded Saturday to a trailer park in Osteen. I have no idea where these places are, but somewhere deep in the heart of Florida. They found Joanne Mercader, 69, with caked poop on her face, and another woman dripping in human waste. So this person, Mercader,
in there.
Exactly. Yep. You're right. Yeah, you have been there. Holy shit. You're like, yeah, that's nothing. So this person was saying she was being evicted from her trailer, and said the landlord had broke into her house and assaulted me. The cops were like, yeah, no, they didn't, because they didn't break in. You're the one. You have like a little speck of. Clearly you smeared it on your face before we got here, which is even more disgusting, but your landlord is covered in shit. So she did later, she later admitted to accidentally throwing the vile contents, because as soon as she entered the residence, the landlord, she said she was thought she was going to attack her. So that's what she was claimed she was going to use a bucket of water to kind of keep her at bay, but happened to be a bucket of shit, which is, I mean, it's ridiculous.
That's insane.
Yeah.
It's completely ridiculous. So the victim had told deputies that she had previously arranged with Mercader. God, I can't pronounce that name. Mercader. That's a weird name. To check on broken items within the residence. She was charged with battery on a person 65 or older, a felony, and released on her own recognizance. So she was ordered to have no contact with the victim. Doesn't say anything after that.
I think what is the biggest question for me is, I think Dave, you said it at the very beginning. Why the bucket of shit? Why is there buckets worth of shit lying around?
I mean, was that one of the items that were broken in the residence, the toilet? Because that's the only thing I can think of that would possibly, or she's just like, oh, I'm fucking, this person's, I got something for you.
Yeah, if she's collecting it, that has to be it.
We've done, I think that's the 3rd story where we've done about someone throwing a bucket of shit on people. So
a lot of shit.
Yeah, one in Toronto. Call back to Ellen going to Canada. A guy was going around with a bucket and just throwing it at people in the street. I think somewhere in LA too. Yep. So I'm shocked it didn't all happen in Florida, because that seems like a very Florida-esque type of thing. But yeah, that's crazy. I'm like, I can't believe they let her go. I'm like, you're going to jail. There's just no, you can't be throwing shit. And the only thing to say was just don't hang out with her. Don't go near her. You're like, fuck.
Yeah, but also, what if the other woman got sick? She could have murdered her with poo. Yeah. And it makes me think about how women, their number one way of killing somebody is poison. She's literally poisoning her with poo.
Poisoning.
Oof. Well, That was a gross story. But with that, Taylor, thank you so much for being on our show. You were hilarious. You're amazing. And please plug away. Let everybody know where they can find you or how they can find you.
You could listen to our podcast, Fraidy Cats, that we would love to have you guys on. All your podcast things. And I have another podcast called Callin the Shots. It's a sports podcast. We're doing a live every year. We do a live Super Bowl show during the Super Bowl. We have done it live at the House of Independence in Asbury Park, but this year we'll probably do it virtually. We had Kurt Brownell last year. We have a lot of
good, really? That's awesome.
We have some good guests on, and it's usually a lot of fun. So we're doing that. It's February 13th this year, and that's it. And listen to my wife's podcast, Hello Thoughts. It's very nice, and she's the best.
Awesome. She is the best.
She is the best. She was great. That was a fun show, and we should all listen to all those things. So yes. But thanks again, and
thank you guys.
Yeah, it was super fun.
And look at more of Taylor's stuff in the show notes. We'll link everything there.
Oh, thanks, guys.
For sure. It'll all be there. And thanks to you out there listening and laughing, learning with us, everything but.
And happy pooping, everybody, and enjoy your butthole.